Let's try this new setup that we have here. I thought probably these things in the background will add some, color to the whole filming environment that we had up until now. So let me know what you guys think. Drop down some comments. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or I don't know, whatever. So yeah, today I wanted to discuss about something that a lot of people have been discussing in the past, and I see that recently it has been brought up again, like onto the social media scene, which is kind of like a trending topic right now. And I remember that back in the day when I was working at the shop, oftentimes there were discussions internally amongst ourselves whether this thing is true or not. And actually, these discussions that we had amongst ourselves were started because of people, clients that were often walking into our store, and during chit chat and whatever, they were always asking these things. Like every month at least, we would have someone asking, or let's say hinting subtly towards this aspect, and wanted to probably pick our brain. So I decided to finally make a video years later after I stopped working there. But now that I have a super famous YouTube channel with thousands and thousands and millions of subscribers, I know that my voice will be heard, right? Yeah. So, as you can see from the title, the topic that I'm talking about is this idea that certain stores, certain shops, and whatever outlets for selling and distribution and whatever, whether some of them get better quality merchandise as opposed to the rest of the other ones. And to be honest, probably this is a topic that's worth discussing across a plethora of industries, not just musical instruments or guitars in particular, but probably for all sorts of goods. However, obviously this is our niche right here with guitars, so and general sound equipment overall, so amps and pedals and gear of all sorts. So I'll try to give you some of my thoughts on this, because I've seen a lot of opinions on the internet, and usually they all start with like some general true points, but then, at least for me personally, I kind of feel their bias go way into one direction or the other, but it's pretty much the same direction all over the place, which is that, after all the rant, well, no, this is not happening, that's crazy idea, and all of them get treated equally, and there's no such filtering done. Let me give you my perspective. First of all, the disclaimer is that my perspective comes just from things that I'm indirectly observing and seeing, and things that I've indirectly observed or seen and thought about, and I connected dots that, in my opinion, cannot go in any other way. But under no way, shape, or form have I ever officially heard or seen or anything. I've never had any factual proof that this ever happened. So I'll just be giving you my opinion. So probably by now you kind of guess where I'm heading with this train of thought. So my opinion is that to some level this does happen, and I'll tell you why and how I think this happens. So people usually discard this whole idea very quickly, saying that, well, it's crazy for one store to have such special treatment because there's too many stores out there, and that would be an insane amount of work for the manufacturer, like all the big companies out there, Fender, Gibson, Ibanez, whatever you name them, to actually send individually handpicked stock guitars for different destinations. Yes and no, and I'll tell you why I don't think this is really something that makes complete sense for disproving it. So the idea is that, first of all, you have to understand with stores and dealers in general, the things go as follows. There are different tiers when it comes to what level of endorser are you, what level of distribution do you have, and so on and so forth. So you could be very low in the chain. You could probably be buying like a Fender or a Gibson, or like I said, any company that you wish to name. You could be buying guitars from them directly. You could be buying them indirectly from other dealers. You could be having first-hand purchase, second-hand, third-hand, whatever. This has a lot of economic and all sorts of other sorts of aspects being connected to where you decide to be, and also where it's possible for you to be. But usually big companies on a regional level, big suppliers, distribution chains have direct connections with the actual guitar companies and with the respective brand names. So when you're talking about top tiers that are buying directly, that are importing directly, and have very advantageous sorts of deals and prices and stuff like this, they're usually obliged by contract to do a variety of things, like buy a minimum of many guitars, or buy different levels from the same manufacturer, and they have to have like at least 10 guitars in this level of price, at least 20 guitars at this price range, and so on and so forth. So it's a very detailed and specific requirement that is based on your contract with the respective brand, that obliges you to buy a certain number of like a minimum number of guitars or amps or whatever per month or per quarter or a year or whatever, and you have to do your part when it comes to this. And why is this important? Well, because if you are one of the low end tiers, obviously whatever process of triage there might or might not be, you're completely randomized in the whole thing, because things go from one guy to another before they eventually reach you, so you have no control over this. But my opinion is that when it comes to the top tiers, well, let's say there are two options, in my opinion. One, which I agree is probably not that feasible, but it's still possible, in my view, is that indeed certain stores, guitar stores, like top names, might be having, let's say, hand-picked lots selected and sent to them. And not throwing any names out there, but who the big retailers are out there, especially the guys with a huge online presence that can ship worldwide and stuff like that. So first idea is that probably for such top stores, which are not that many, there is this level of customer care that kind of makes the manufacturer want to have like this agreement with the stores, so that they get the best of goods, so that they have a very low return rate and stuff like this. Another possibility is that let's say probably or maybe the brands themselves don't actually pick and sort, but as soon as they deploy and they have the packages sent to all of these big top tier sellers, the sellers themselves, these big companies, now in turn kind of pick and choose and select, especially when it comes to what they choose to show in their showroom on the shelves, or what they choose to expose or keep in the warehouse, or even in the warehouse when they have to export and send, especially internationally. They probably decide to have some sort of triage on their end. So if it's something for the US versus Europe, or let's say even inside the US different areas, or in Europe different countries, and so on and so forth. So that's another viable option in my opinion. And let's say even if these are two things that I think are still possible no matter what anyone says, also there's like a third option where, let's say again back to the brands themselves, maybe they don't necessarily have a dedicated triage for the distributors themselves. So maybe they don't do this with the top tiers, but they do this per region. So what I mean by this is that probably they kind of pick and choose on a greater scale whether they send something to Europe versus Asia versus US versus Canada versus whatever, United Kingdom or Australia, or bigger parts, almost like continents. So yeah, almost like continent level triage. So honestly, again, I have no solid proof that any of this happens or doesn't happen. I've never seen in my days of working at the store, I've never seen this. And I remember also, some of the disproof that was coming, kind of sounded or formulated itself as being like, well, a lot of people have been visiting the factories. They had factory tours, and we never saw any such trash. Well, that's a very silly, simple, and unrealistic and redundant and just ridiculous claim to make, because obviously, first of all, no matter who you are, if you're like just with a tour, you're a YouTuber, you're a dealer, you're an owner of a big company, or you're just gathered with a group of people visiting, group of enthusiasts, or whatever the occasion might be for a factory tour. First of all, they're not gonna show you that they're doing this. Otherwise, they would have been the first guys to say, well, yeah, hey, we have this going on, and here's how it's being processed and separated and whatever. So no one's gonna say they're doing this. That's like, again, going to other goods. It's like someone saying they're sending crappier phones over here versus over there, or that, I don't know, potatoes or whatever food or whatever is being I don't know, I'm trying to avoid a lot of words. It's like saying that things are being discriminated based on location or other factors. So nobody's gonna say this, first of all, so that's number one reason for why this is just a stupid and ridiculous claim. And number two, they might be doing this in stages or locations that are not necessarily there for you to see and or hear or experience or whatever. So you don't necessarily need to see someone hand picking the wood for different stores or different continents or regions before it goes into production, which again, my opinion is that in some cases, sometimes it does happen, because I kind of happen to have heard or read things on the internet, which again is not factual proof, but I've seen quite a lot of things where certain top tier companies were selecting, some limited edition runs. They were selecting the wood before it was going into some limited edition runs. I'm not gonna name any names. But also, so back to my point, they don't necessarily need to handpick the ingredients going in. They might as well just have the normal or lazy process of just doing things regardless. But then what comes out, so the output, now it can be, selected in certain cases if it's desired. And I see no reason why this wouldn't be done. So let's say it's ridiculous or redundant to select what's going in, because then again you might select something that's not the best looking wood in terms of like the book matching or the maple top of a certain guitar or whatever. So it's not the coolest looking, but the overall manufacturing process will output a fabulous guitar, a marvelous guitar. Whereas on the other hand, you are selecting the best thing there is, and something goes wrong along the way in the process, and now you have a faulty kind of like B stock type of guitar. So maybe they just thought to themselves, let's do it like this. Woohoo! The way I just explained, I'm giving myself chills over here. So maybe they just decided to do it like this because it's they can't predict the manufacturing process too well. So they decide to make the separation post QC, post quality control. So it's a lot of options that can be happening, and even a mix of them. I'm pretty sure out of all the things that I've said, probably almost all of them are happening to some level, in some parts, in some situations, occasions, whatever. So don't be so naive or even conservative thinking, there's no way this thing can happen, so that's the end of it, end of discussion. Why should it be the end of discussion? I mean, at the end of the day, these things are a big reality of consumerism and a big reality of our capitalistic whatever society. So not to go into political aspects here, but why the hell wouldn't you expect this thing to happen? So it makes no sense to me to just discard this idea that somehow there's some level of preferential treatment going on in this multi-billion-dollar industry or anywhere else. Again, it can be consumer goods, electronics, food, perishable services. Who can say that, I don't know, customer support or any other type of service is not being chosen to be done with different levels or varying levels of quality by intention, by default. So not just some random happening of us being humans and imperfect, but who says this is not something that's being desired? If you're working anywhere in the industry and you have 2 eyes and 2 ears, I think you might have probably seen this at your workplace hundreds of times, right? You know that probably guys somewhere else are being paid different, they're being treated differently. So also this reflects itself into the product or service, the final delivery that is the output of whatever your company is doing. So feel free to let me know what you think down below. If you think that inside, again, let's not go haywire, inside the musical industry, when it comes to instruments and gear and whatever, do you think that this is a reality, or do you think that this is just nonsense and some weird myth going on the internet without any reason? And I'd love to hear some reasons, no matter where you position yourself on the spectrum, whether you're a hell nah, fuck yeah, or I don't know, maybe right in the middle. So yeah, let me know about that. Let me know about the different scenery, the scenery change we have here that I'm just trying right now, just to spike things up just a little bit. And yes, until next time, I'm enjoying my sparkly t-shirt just because I just because I'm a weirdo, I guess. And oh, let's not forget, let's try to have some, some thumbnail, like always on your time, because I like to not spend my time scrolling through the video later and choosing a thumbnail, so I might as well do it while you're still listening to me blabbering on and 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 on and